Welcome to Let's Talk Lupus. Maintaining healthy habits is very difficult for anyone, but particularly patients of lupus. Dr. Levy is here to discuss that in this month's edition of Let's Talk Lupus.
We commonly get questions about how we develop healthy habits, especially for young people, such as adolescents who have lupus. So these are really great and important questions. All adolescents, so all teenagers, whether or not they have a chronic illness, they all have trouble developing these healthy habits, such as eating well, exercising, and getting enough sleep. This is made so much more difficult when the teen also has to deal with a chronic illness, such as lupus, in addition to the effects of all of the medications we give them, such as prednisone. We know that these medications can disturb their sleep schedules, especially making it difficult to fall asleep. So if there is any difficulty already having them fall asleep, then this is made so much worse by all the other things that teens like to do at night. They like to talk on their phone, watch the videos, and browse through social media, and can do this all night if they weren't stopped. So other medications that we give can also lead to some difficulty staying asleep. Perhaps we've given them some diuretic medications that make them have to get up to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So for these sleep issues, I generally stress to set a realistic bedtime, and that's not a bedtime at 9 o'clock, it's later, and to also set a realistic waking time and to try to stick to these times every night. So really we stress no screens for 1 hour prior to going to bed, and really try to have the room as dark as possible. One should set an alarm for the morning time and try to get up at the time when the alarm goes off, and especially do so during the weekdays. If on the weekend they want to sleep another hour or two longer, that's okay, but really try not to sleep an extra 4 or 5 hours because that really throws off the entire sleep schedule. So if we turn to diet, this is also an issue for all teenagers and also relates to how they perceive their own body image. So we unfortunately give high doses of prednisone to many teens, and we see the effects of this medication. We see weight gain, change in the shape of their face, they may see acne, they may have stretch marks, and sometimes even hair growth in places where they really do not want extra hair. So we always should see some weight gain, but there are ways to minimize this weight gain through healthy eating. Restricting calories is not the answer, it's really not ideal. So we try to avoid this and focus on avoiding foods that are really a problem. So these are foods with tons of empty carbohydrates and high fat. And we focus on having lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, fruits, and vegetables. We also know that fruits with a lot of salt can be problematic, especially when you have kidney disease. They can raise the blood pressure and they can cause swelling of the ankles. We often will refer the teen and their whole family to see a dietitian, since the family needs to focus on healthy eating. If they live in a home where there's lots of junk food, it's not realistic to ask the teen to avoid eating that junk food, even though it's right there in front of them. We also stress eating everything in moderation. It's not realistic to say you can never have cake and chocolate and other treats, but instead you want to have this in moderation and not as a major portion of your diet. So the last thing we talk about would be exercise. So exercise is always important, and this has been particularly difficult during the pandemic. We really encourage everyone to stay active, even if just going for walks with their friends or family. Other easy options would be riding a bike, participating in gym class at school, or doing an exercise video on YouTube. Setting a regular schedule to exercise, using an alarm on their phone to remind the teen to do these activities can be helpful, but really increasing physical activity overall is not easy. We know that Rome wasn't built in a day, so we really stress focusing on one of these things at a time, not trying to change everything all at once. And repeated small changes, small amounts, small differences each day and each week, that's how we see improvements in their overall lifestyle.